Hey, we're here curled up with Albert, and you can't see them, but the other two dogs are over there. And we're going to read chapter 7 of The Empty Envelope. What are you going to do? Ruth Rose asked. That guy looks mean. Maybe we should just give them the letters, Josh said. We can't, Dink said. The 3 sunflower stamps are still in Ruth Rose's house. They'll know we found the stolen stamp. And we can't go home, Ruth Rose said. They might grab us, then they'd search us, and they'd find the stamp on Dink. Let's cut through the backyards to my house, Josh said. We can call Officer Fallon and tell him we're being followed. Okay, Dink said. We can't just stay here. The kids crawled across Miss Alabucky's lawn on their hands and knees. Suddenly, her dog started barking at them. Dink glanced back at the car. The driver's door flew open. The man in the green suit climbed out of the car and hollered at the kids. Let's go, Josh yelled. They jumped up and raced through Miss Alabicky's, I don't know how to pronounce that, Alabicky's backyard. The man shot after them, crashing through Miss Alabicky's hedge. He's coming after us, Dink cried. Faster! The kids tore across Eagle Lane and cut into the woods. They hid in some thick bushes to catch their breath. The man stopped at the edge of the woods. The kids watched as he bent over, catching his breath. Come on, Josh whispered. The minute they started running again, the man plunged into the trees after them. They were faster than the man. A minute later, they raced through Josh's yard. There's the picture that kind of goes with this part. There's the dog barking down there. I don't know. You think that guy's going to catch up to them? Let's find out. Run into the barn and climb up to the loft, Josh yelled. But we'll be trapped up there, Dink said. Just do it, Josh said. I have an idea. The 3 kids sprinted into the barn. Dink and Ruth Rose scrambled up Josh's rope ladder into the loft. Below him, Dink watched Josh shove open the rear door of the barn. But instead of running outside, Josh dove into a pile of hay. Dink couldn't believe his eyes. He's staying down there, he said to Ruth Rose. Quick, get the ladder. So here's the picture that goes with this part. So if you look here, let me hold it still for you. Okay, there's the 2 of them. And then if you look down here, in that pile of hay is where he's hiding. Sorry, everything's reversed. He's hiding in that hay down there. So Josh is down in the hay, not Dink yet. Josh is down there. Seconds later, the man in the green suit barreled through the barn door, up into the loft. Dink could hear him gasping. The man looked around the dim barn, then raced out the open rear door. Dink almost laughed with relief. He started to get up. Suddenly, Ruth Rose yanked him back down. He wants to hear it too. The man ran back into the barn. He stood in the middle and swiveled his head around like a snake. Like that. Dink and Ruth Rose froze, and they carefully peered over the edge of the loft. After a minute, the man kicked a pail across the floor and stomped out of the barn. Dink swallowed and let himself breathe again. He closed his eyes until he heard Josh whisper, He's gone, from the hay pile. Dink looked down and saw Josh's head pop up. With hay stuck in his red hair, he looked like a scarecrow. Dink lowered the rope ladder. He and Ruth Rose climbed down. His legs felt like rubber. They flopped down in the hay next to Josh. What should we do? Dink asked. That jerk will just go back and sit outside my house. The kids sat in the cool barn and thought. Then Ruth Rose sat up straight. I think I know what we can do to prove Doris Duncan and Old Bird stole the stamp, she said. If I'm right, Officer Fallon will arrest them at the same time. How? Dink and Josh both said. I need a telephone, she said. Can we go in your house, Josh? Josh crawled out of the hay and peeked out the barn door. I don't see anyone, he said. He quietly opened the door. The kids raced across his backyard and into the kitchen. What's your plan? Dink asked Ruth Rose. She told him. Josh threw his arms into the air. That is so excellent, he cried. Dink's eyes got big. Then he grinned. It's perfect. If it works, the stamp goes back where it belongs and those 2 crooks go to jail. Ruth Rose's first call was to Officer Fallon. The boys listened as she explained about the letters, the stolen stamp, and her plan. Ruth Rose listened, then started nodding. Uh-huh, got it, right, okay, bye. What do you say? Dink asked. Ruth Rose gave Dink a thumbs up. Then she called information and got the number for the Shangri-La Hotel. She dialed, then asked, Is Doris Duncan there, please? Ruth Rose grinned at Dink and Josh. She mouthed the words, They just walked in. When Ruth Rose started talking, she used a tough guy voice. Dink and Josh listened with their mouths open. Hello, Miss Duncan. My name is Ruth Rose. I'm a friend of Dink's, and I got those letters you want. Ruth Rose made a gaggy face at the boys, then continued. I got your stamp, too, the one with the upside-down airplane. She lowered her voice into a deep whisper. And I know it's worth a lot of dough. Ruth Rose listened and then continued. Dink is so dumb he didn't know it was valuable. I'll sell it for you for $500. Dink and Josh broke into the wide grins. Dink had to stop himself from laughing out loud. Ruth Rose made a shushing motion with her free hand. No, not tonight. I gotta go to my grandmother's. I'll meet you in the library tomorrow at high noon. Josh nearly fell on the floor laughing. Do you hear Albert snort? He's growling in his sleep. Listen. He's so cute. He's like not mean at all. He just growls in his sleep. Don't worry, Ruth Rose said. I'll have the stamp. You just bring the 500 smackers. Then she hung up. Ruth Rose, Josh yelled. You sounded like a real crook. How did you do it? She smiled. You ain't seen nothing yet. And that's where we pick up on Chapter 8 next time. Until then...